The following is a presentation of WNWS.com.
It's Friday, and that's the day when all these high school football games.
High school football.
High school football.
High school football.
Come on, bring it!
Left, Blue 58. Blue 58.
USJ and St. George's. Tonight, my name's Dan Reeves along with Richard, the narrator. Barbara Seabass right now is over on 101.5. Now, we've got terrific trouble here in Collierville, Tennessee tonight as far as the technical side goes. Holy moly. Lawson Mann, Paul Schulze, Worthy Road Studios, always doing a fantastic job there. They've got us blocked. They've got us. We can't get through on the internet to get back to the station. Narrator, how you doing?
Man, it's the ladies blocked me before. So, yeah, I understand what's going on. Has been a mess, Dan Reeves. You've been wrestling with this thing. Appreciate all your efforts, dog.
Well, you're certainly welcome, narrator. It's USJ and St. George's, a huge region matchup tonight here at Collierville, and this is more like it. You know, the temperature's not too warm tonight, just about right. We'll be down in the 60s. Football-type weather as we approach the month of October. The leaves look like they're in the early stages of June. Everything's so green and lovely here, ain't it?
Really is. You know, we're about to roll into October, and it still looks like summer. Dan, I'm excited about this game tonight. Of course, we had ECS a couple of weeks ago. This St. George bench beat ECS by a field goal. So it's going to be interesting, and I talked to Coach Strap when we got here this afternoon. He likes our chances. The thing with ECS, the wheels came off. St. George has given up 25 points a game in region, 35 total. So he feels like we can move the ball on them some. It's just offensively, they can go downfield some, so we're going to be tested. We're getting ready to kick this thing up.
Well, certainly are.
I think a kid we really need to keep an eye on. He's getting some attention from major schools. He's number one for St. George, and that's a wide receiver. His name's Isaac Smith. He's 6'3", 185, got good speed. Coach Strap, when you talk to the coaches in the pregame, they'll point these kids out for you, and they said he's a dangerous kid.
So USJ and St. George's, and Jonathan, if I understand it right, we're live at 101.5 now. If that's the case, hang up on Bass and call him back, tell him to get up in the booth. Jonathan Greer producing and directing, working his magic, and we are just about ready to go here. The opening kickoff presented by Outback Steakhouse of Jackson. Back deep for USJ. Couple of speedsters, Caleb Willis and Wesley Carlock. This is the first time this year that it's comfortable at a football game.
Yeah, you ain't even sweating, dog. Most time you get to sweating when you get to setting this stuff up, man.
I've been sweating, but it's not because of the
You was perspiring.
No, I was sweating, but it was not because of the tip.
Brother was
Here's
sweating.
the kickoff. It's a low-line driver. Going to bounce and be scooped by Carlock at the 10, 15. Outside the numbers 20. Crossing the 20. And out across the 25 as markers come flying. Carlock goes down at the 29-yard line. It is a block in the back on USJ. So that's the way this evening begins.
USJ is the type of team's got to play a clean game, and it's a rough way to start. A block in the back, it wasn't called for.
So there's Carlock. It was behind the play. Every level of football these days, it seems as though we get a flag on every kickoff return.
Yeah, lots of flags, dog.
Lost man enjoying a nice barbecue nacho dinner. It's good. The Bruins, after the penalty, will start at their own 13-yard line. They'll go under center. Here's Willis coming out of the slot. He'll take the handoff, trying to work over a right tackle for a short gain. Narrator, just we'll do it like the old days. Just look up and we'll wave at you. Richard, the narrator, Barber, headed down to the sideline. Hey, Bew, how you doing?
Hey, baby, how are you, man? I missed you. Let's do this. Let's play some football.
Well, I know that was fun on your cell phone there for an hour.
I didn't mind it a bit, man.
So the Bruins on first down, a 3-yard gain. Second down at 17. They'll run it straight up the middle from the 17 out to the 19. It's a gain of 2. So, well, you know, although that was a 10-yard penalty, it was on the kickoff. So it was 1st and 10 instead of 1st and 20. Pardon me. So that'll make it 3rd down and right at 5. The Bruins at their own 17-yard line of the game's opening possession. Here the Bruins on 3rd down and 5. Play action to the air for the first time tonight. The pass is wide of the intended targets. That's Carlock. It'll go incomplete, and the Bruins will go 3 and out while the game's first possession here.
Well, it's not exactly what the Bruins want, but decent time from the offensive line. And Carlock was past the sticks. The route was there. Looks like Cody Smith just let him a little bit too far right there. A little bit too much mustard on that one. The Bruins go 3 and out. Not exactly the way they wanted to start it off. They're going to need a big punt to get themselves, to keep them, St. George from having good field position.
So the Bruins 3 and out in the game's opening possession. They'll have to punt it away and do it. Right at the 10-yard line, it's a high, hanging punt. The catch is made, and bam! TJ Tharp with a booming tackle. Wes Smith will rethink that next time as TJ Tharp running full tilt boogie late into Smith, or late into Wes Smith. He's lucky he held on to that one, Bill.
Yeah, it's a good punt by Cale, turned over nicely, and Smith showed a lot of guts, but Tharp said, hey, you can catch it if you want, but if you don't fair catch it, you got a whole bunch of these coming your way all night long, and that's 220 hitting you head on with a full head of steam.
So here's, for the first time tonight, St. George's on offense. They go out of the shotgun with 2 wide receivers far side. He'll raise up and hit one. He's at the 50, the 45, just outside the numbers. Down the sideline they go, inside the 40 and tackled at the Bruin 38-yard line. That's Isaac Smith, the 6'3", 185-pound junior wide receiver. View, they think he's a good one, and he is.
And they're right. Isaac Smith's a stud. You mentioned 6'3", 185, built like a tank, great hands, nice quick hits to the wide side flat, and he did the rest.
Spencer Smith is the QB. He's 6'1", 190 pounds. For St. George's, this time 3 wide receivers. The shotgun for quarterback Spencer Smith. He'll hand it off with room to the 35 and cut down inside the 35 at the Bruin 34-yard line. On the carry, Timber King, 6'1", 190-pound tailback. He's a senior.
Well, watch Logan Antwine come up from his outside position right here and makes a nice tackle right there, taking the running back. Got Timber King, 6'1", 190, big, powerful running back, and a great tackle that time by Logan.
9.5 minutes remaining. We're early in the first quarter. We're scoreless. USJ, after starting inside their own 20 with the opening kickoff, after a block in the back, went 3 and out. Now St. George's, they've moved from the 50 to the Bruin 34-yard line, and they'll face a second down and 6. Collierville, Tennessee. Well, this place is drawing in view.
It's totally blown up, man. It's unbelievable.
Now we're ready. Here's Smith again in the shotgun. He'll take the snap and drop back to throw. Stepping up in the pocket, fires. It's deflected as he's hit. As he was about to uncoil that football, it looked like maybe TJ Tharp hit that throwing arm while he was in motion. and it was a wounded duck, Bill.
I think it was either him or Seth DeBerry. Let's see.
DeBerry.
And it was DeBerry who went all the way on the outside but didn't give up on the play. Quarterback steps up in the pocket. DeBerry goes up there and gets a piece of that arm.
DeBerry is a wild man. He has played so well.
Yeah, he's been a big find for them this year defensively. He's done a great job of pressuring quarterbacks.
3rd down and 6. St. George's. They'll scrimmage from the Bruin 34. Smith, quarterback with 4 wide receivers and a man in motion, takes the snap. He'll fire it out a little to the flat. And that's Smith again, Isaac Smith. He'll pick up the first down easily. And Smith will move down the far sideline from the 34 all the way to the Bruin 24. He needed 6. He picked up 10. And another first down for St. George.
Well, motion to the short side just before the snap, and USJ a little bit late to recognize it. Then just a great move in the open field that time by King. He picks up the first down and more.
Well, you know, the narrator, you should be able to hear us now. Say a few syllables, narrator. Maybe you could shoot him a text, if you.
All right.
1st and 10. They go to the air again, a crossing pattern. They have complete down to the 11. That's just too easy on the reception. Justin Bray, another big wide receiver. He's 6'3". To go along with the 6'3" Isaac Smith, it's a big receiving core. They're long, they're lean, and the quickness there is shown by Smith, and then this time Bray. That's another first down. It'll be first and goal right at the 10-yard line.
Well, a lot of respect for the receiving core here early on. You could see USA playing well off the ball on that last play.
First and goal. Here's St. George's. They'll run it on the ground. They move over right tackle. Not much there. Maybe a yard down to the 9.
Yeah, the Bruins, and it looks like one of the Bruins is hurt, so maybe in a hand. We'll see if we can get that number on that here in just a second. But, yeah, USJ needs to make a stand and a statement right here defensively. Oh, boy, that's number 64. That's Blaine Verdung who's going off, holding his left wrist. Hope he's all right. That's a big loss. They can't get him back on.
But don't forget tonight at halftime, we're going to have the homecoming ceremonies. The court will be announced, and then, of course,
second and goal from the 9. St. George's on the move. Scoreless, 7:27 left in the opening quarter. Here's Smith, the QB, out of the shotgun. He'll go back to the air, and it's broken up, nearly intercepted. Nice play by the Bruins, Carter Craig. If he'd have picked that one off, it'd have been a 90-yard pick six. Let's go down to the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
So it was skin tight. He kind of looked like John Travolta. I mean, was like this big.
Well, I'll tell you what, Danny.
I bet you he's on a delay. We'll see if he starts talking here about
That could absolutely be the case. You know, that last play right there, you're right. If Carter Craig is able to haul that football in, that's going to be about a 90-yard pick six right there. The one thing that I would like to see Carter do right there, he put up one hand. Put up two. Put up two.
Yeah,
put up two.
Where,
potentially you snag that ball.
That's where you explode through the ball and pick it, right?
Yep.
Third and goal from the 9. Here's Smith back to throw again. Here comes the pressure and flags fly. Smith rolls right, fires into the end zone. Touchdown. If it stands, I don't think it will. That marker's down in the direction that would indicate holding on St. George's. And that's what it's going to be. When you see lack of celebration after a touchdown, and that was a fantastic play by QB Spencer Smith. The narrator went down and forgot his microphone.
Now that.
What's up, fellas?
Now that even beats unable to get in. How much of a delay are we on here in your ears?
Well, so far so good, but I'm right here with you.
Well, no, it's going to be the same. It's going to be the same.
I know that. Even I know that.
He's more technically sound than you, narrator.
Even I know.
Y'all got me shook up because we've been, pushing buttons and rewiring and stuff all night, and I don't even know where I'm at, dog.
You can call your bill narrator.
I'm going to go down on the field, quit messing
We
with
got to play by you, big guy. Third down and goal from the 28 after the penalty. 7:10 left, opening quarter. Here's Smith dropping back to throw again. He'll fire deep into the end zone. Got a man open. Incomplete. Isaac Smith in the left corner of the end zone. Somehow the Bruins defensive backs fell asleep and let him get behind him. He should have made that catch. He turned the wrong way and was unable to locate the ball once he did that view, but that was a gorgeous pass.
Well, a couple things here. One, I'm not a fan on 3rd and 28 of bringing 3 people, because eventually somebody can. I know it. Look, it's 3rd and goal from 28. I get all that, but you're right. 2 defenders turned around. That should have been 6 for St. George. USJ dodges a big bullet.
Off for the field goal, Tip.
You know, that's a case of the bullet dodged there. We really didn't do anything.
Escarito.
Into attempt a 45-yard field goal is Carson Haddon. Carson's kick is up, traveling downfield, and that's going to be well short of the distance. So Jim Hardigree's defense, after letting the Griffin enjoy a 1st and goal from the 10, forces a 45-yard field goal attempt that falls short. And USJ, St. George's, scoreless, 6:55 left in the first quarter. Here it's Collierville, Tennessee. Let's go to Richard, the narrator. Barber, narrator.
What's up, Pippy? Y'all hear me?
Yes, we got you.
We hear you,
Hot
Pippy.
dog. I tell you what, USA dodged the bullet there. Their first offensive series didn't work out real good start. Was able to hold.
There's USJ on the ground. Room 30, 40, 50, 45, and dragged down at the Griffin 40. That's TJ Tharp. Just a quick opener. The fullback, the first man through, and a big hole opened up with that USJ offensive line, and Tharp rips off 60 yards.
Well, that's an A-gap blast by the fullback right here. Beautiful job, the center blocking down. TJ wastes no time, just hits it right up the gut. That's how you do it. You can't mess around. You hit it like that at 220. He gets caught from behind, but not after a big gain.
I said 60. I mean 40 yards. And a Hughes I group first down Bruins. Back to the ground. Working right side again. Boom, boom from the 40 down to the 36-yard line. The ball came loose, but after the whistle had blown, that's the tailback. Wallace this time on the carry. Wallace. Tyler is a 6 foot, 241-pound junior tailback. TJ Tharp, 5'11", 227. That's the fullback.
Another official timeout.
Got another official timeout. So the Bruins there with Wallace on first down, a gain of 3. Will have the ball on the near hash mark. They'll move left to right on your radio dial. The Bruins here in the first quarter, 6:10 remaining. We're scoreless. USJ and St. George's. And the Cowbells. Boy, this. Oh, the Cowbells.
Love
the Cowbells. High formation behind Smith. He's under center. Cody, play action, back to throw. Plenty of time. Got a man open. Fires. It's caught by Carlock at the 25. Spinning out of a tackle down to the 20. And Carlock is inside the 20. Wesley is all the way down to the 17-yard line. Is Wesley Carlock so dangerous after he makes those catches? Juked and jived and picked up an extra 5 yards.
Well, this was on play action, and it was sold perfectly by Cody Smith that time. St. George, the linebacker, you see, freezes, falls asleep. Smith throws a bullet, and, of course, you mentioned Carlock after the catch, as good as we've got.
That's a gain of 25. USJ in the red zone for the first time tonight. 1st and 10 from the Griffin 16. Back under center. And Wallace, he's hit. He coughs it up. It's scooped by St. George's. Here they go the other way to the 30, to the 40, and tackled at the 47-yard line, I believe, by Wallace, who coughed that ball up. He coughed that one up too easily. And a beautiful drive, just like that, is snuffed out with a turnover.
Yeah, turnovers have killed. It's uncharacteristic for this football team, but it has plagued this team all along. But St. George sniffed that out before the snap. You saw they brought both backers up and stuffed the A-gap, and on the handoff, he just runs into a defender. Now, I will credit Wallace. Should have held on to the football, but he did come back and save a touchdown by making the tackle from behind.
Bass said uncharacteristic. Not for this team, narrator. They turned the football over big time this year.
That's right, Pimpy.
1st and 10 after the turnover. Here's St. George's. 5:19 left, opening quarter. Back to the air. Smith dropped it. He was wide open at the 42-yard line. Trying to run before he made the catch. and dropped the football. This game is brought to you in part by Robinson Toyota. Our game-winning drive to the ball game tonight. A Robinson Toyota. And right now, the RAV4s, 2018 RAV4s, $2,250 customer cash. On the 2018 RAV4 at Robinson Toyota, 1453 Van Drive in the Columns. You shop online 24/7 at RobinsonToyota.com. Second and 10. They're going to pitch it left side. Here running near the sideline to the 50. To the Bruin 45. Tightrope in that sideline down to the Bruin 41 before he's tackled. That is Jake Hurley on the carry, I believe. That's a first down as Hurley picks up the necessary yardage. The narrator is having a love affair with that microphone.
They're deep in love. That was a really good play call that time. T.J. Tharp getting chipped by the lead back out of the backfield. He was scraping just like he was supposed to, but it was an excellent block.
Right back into Bruin territory with 4:47 left in the opening quarter. We're scoreless, but here's St. George's on the move again. On first down, quarterback will keep it. They got him corralled behind the line of scrimmage, and down he goes. Spencer Smith looked like maybe view on these zone reads. Sometimes, if your option is not there, you got to make such a quick decision. And Smith, I thought he was going to raise up and hit Isaac Smith out there in the flat, but he didn't.
Well, I tell you what, this, if on the replay, if you take a look at this, it looked like he had a hole. He thought that he had made the right read, and he pretty much did. Spencer Smith did. But watch this, Danny, on the replay. Now watch this. It looks like that gap's open right there, right? But look at Seth DeBerry disengage from the right tackle right there, come down and make a fantastic tackle.
Has he not played?
Yeah, that was the right read.
This guy's just played so well this year. Seth DeBerry. Second and 12. Back to the air they go. Under pressure, rolling right, firing deep down the field toward the end zone and incomplete. Isaac Smith, the intended receiver, he was covered by Caleb Willis. Third and long upcoming. Let's go to the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, and you just saw Spencer Smith show off that arm, and Isaac Smith's the kid that we talked to Strap about that said, you know, we got to contain him some way. And you would expect Isaac Smith to come down with that catch. Had trouble finding the ball. We got a little break there.
Well, he didn't
Spencer
hide.
Smith just threw that ball 50 yards in the air off one leg, moving to his right.
With somebody chasing him from behind. Yeah. And you're right, though. Smith's got to high point that ball. He let that ball get into him and land right at him. He'll learn.
Third and 12, man in motion left to right. Here's Smith, the quarterback, back to throw. Fires across the middle and incomplete. On different pages, the quarterback and wide receiver. It'll go incomplete, and St. George's will be forced to punt. 3:37 left in the opening quarter. We're scoreless. USJ and St. George's.
Well, I tell you what, Smith can step into a throw. I tell you what, I thought USJ might get called there for a little early contact, but they didn't. We'll take it.
This game is presented in part by Brandon Jones at State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor. Brandon Jones at State Farm Insurance. Caleb Willis, Wesley Carlock. As Willis notices a man split out wide here, and he's not sure that he doesn't trust St. George's, but they do punt it away. It's a shake off the side of the foot. Over on the far sideline, it'll hit at the Bruin 22 and die at the 20. So a break for USJ right there, narrator. That punt went off the side of the foot. Didn't have a lot of roll to it. So the Bruins, after that punt by Harston, hated. How do you pronounce that? Hated? Did you ask anybody?
We
were kind of busy to pregame.
A little bit busy.
So narrator, a break for the Bruins. They'll take over on their own 20.
Dude named Carson. Carson.
3:26 left here in the opening quarter. We're scoreless. USJ and St. George's. Here are the Bruins. Cody Smith, the quarterback, under center. The I formation behind him. Play action. Here's Cody rolling right, looking to throw. Plenty of time. Looking. Now he'll run it. Cody to the line of scrimmage. He'll dive ahead to the 24. That's a gain of 4 yards on first down.
And let me tell you something. This is actually a really good play by Cody Smith for what he didn't do. Watch this, Reese. Now, you've got a drag route. man coming right across the field here. But as we look and we see, he's got
by the
3
way,
different options. Nobody is open. He didn't force anything.
I don't know why we've been saying Cody Smith. It's Garrett Reynolds.
Good grief. I have been saying Cody Smith. Sorry, man.
Cody, who was the starter for the first game, of course, went out in the Crockett game, unfortunately with an ACL. Garrett Reynolds, the QB. The gain by Garrett was 4. Play action. Reynolds back to the air. He's under pressure. He's going to go down this time. Inside the 15-yard line, it was a jailbreak. Did a marker come out late? I think it did. And near the point of contact, this may be targeting. Let's see. Here's the official. Personal foul. St. George's.
Wow.
So we'll watch the replay here presented by the Hughes Eye Group to see it. Here it is, View. After a week in the NFL with a lot of questionable calls. Oh, boy. Okay, late. He came in.
Yeah.
He came in late.
Yeah.
Did.
Sure did. Good call by the officials. Miscommunication on the right side of that offensive
Third down
line.
and a yard after that penalty. The Bruins, after 29-yard line, their own 29, they need the 30. No. Play clock down to 10. Down to 6. Here's Reynolds snapping the ball. He's going to pitch it right side. And here's Wallace on second effort has the first down. Wallace was contacted short of that line to make. He spun off a tackle. He needed 1. He picks up 3. Tyler Wallace with pure, unleashed. You know what, View?
What?
The word I'm grasping for is eluding my grasp.
Well, I tell you, St. George reacted quickly. What power by Wallace.
First down, Bruins. A Hughes Eye Group first down. Here's Wallace, a nifty sidestep. And Wallace will move from the 32 along the near hash out to the 36-yard line. He'll pick up 4. He should have been tackled at the line of scrimmage.
I'm telling you, Danny, I mean, at 241, you're not supposed to be this fleet-footed. Look at this. He's dead to rights. That defensive end crashes in. He has nowhere to go. Wallace sidesteps immediately, picks up the game.
Just inside a 2-minute remaining, first quarter scoreless. USJ and St. George's. USJ second and 6 from their own 35 to the air. Reynolds across the middle. A strike to Wesley Carlock. He makes the catch at the 44-yard line of St. George's. That's a gain of 22. That's a Bruin first down presented by the Hughes Eye Group. And that was a bullet because the coverage was there, View.
Yeah.
But Reynolds put it to where only Carlock could make a play.
You're right. Only bringing 4. St. George allows Reynolds to step into that throw on the post. Carlock looks it in, and he's hit as soon as that ball gets there by the defensive back, but he holds on. Big play.
I'm not sure he wasn't hit early. Great catch by Wesley Carlock. Tremendous concentration. Carlock Nissan van drive helping bring you Bruin football. First and 10 Bruins. Here's Wallace again over right tackle. Wallace breaking tackles inside the 40. Here's Wallace running it down to the Griffin 36-yard line before they're able to get him off his feet. Tyler Wallace, after coughing that ball up on the previous drive, you could tell he's a man possessed.
Well, you got that right, and a good drive block that time by a couple of the offensive linemen for USJ, but they're staying ahead of the sticks, and that is so key for this team tonight.
Down to a minute remaining, first quarter. We're scoreless. The Bruins on the move. First, or make it second and 2, moving left to right. They're at the Griffin 36. Back to the ground. Here's the fullback with room to the 30. Tharp inside the 30, and TJ runs down to the 26-yard line. That's another Hughes Eye Group first down as we move down to the sideline. And Richard, the narrator, Barber.
We talk about it each week. When you talk about Tharp, you talk Ellis, and having to take those kids hit 240. Yeah.
Man, and that was some kind of contact that time between Tharp and Timber King.
You ain't kidding. First and 10 Bruins. From the Griffin 27. Reynolds back to throw. Plenty of time. He'll fire across the middle, and this one is incomplete. Nearly intercepted, and I tell you, it would have been intercepted had it not been for Wesley Carlock turning into a defensive back.
Oh, you're right. That's kind of going to the well right there. Look at this. I mean, Reynolds locks onto his man, and there is no doubt who he's going to. Safety comes up, ball's behind him, and it's a good thing it is. A good throw is an interception right there. But you're right. Reynolds Carlock made sure that ball was incomplete.
Wesley's having a fantastic junior season.
He really is. He's an explosive player.
He is.
He's fearless.
He's fearless, I tell you. The man lacks the fear gene. 2nd and 10. Play action. Here's Reynolds to the air again. Across the middle. He missed his man. He had him open at the 15. It'll go incomplete. Carter Craig, the intended receiver. Our intended receiver is on the sideline. Richard, the narrator, Barber.
USJ had a little something working there, guys.
Carter Craig. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
They did.
It was definitely there. You're right. Craig was open.
3rd and 10 Bruins. They're inside the Griffin 30 for the second time tonight. 14 seconds left, opening quarter. Reynolds goes under center with 2 wide receivers. Play action, back to the air. Got a man open, caught at the 15, to the 10. Carlock down to the 5 before they get him off his feet. Wesley Carlock found a soft spot in that zone. And after the catch again, he picks up another 10 yards at a Hughes I Group first down ball.
Oh, just a beautiful seam route that time and a bullet that time by Reynolds.
Look at that. Made that move and nearly got the end zone. First and goal, Bruins from the 3, they say. And we got whistles. Oh, that's the end of quarter number 1. So after 1, we're scoreless, but the Bruins knocking on the door on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 and WNWS.com. As we move on, as we move on here, 12:32 left in the. Wait, what am I talking about?
I don't know.
Hey, the word I'm looking for, it escapes my grasp. You tell them who's sponsoring this.
Man, some great folks like Rockin' Dough Pizza. Hey, guys, visit Rockin' Dough Pizza this week in downtown Jackson at the Lift and try that Cordelia. It's phenomenal. Don't forget, they've got a brunch on Saturday and Sundays. By Carlock Nissan, new Nissan cars, trucks, and SUVs, plus a great selection of previously owned vehicles on Van Drive right here in Jackson. And Master Fit Medical supplying the good people of West Tennessee with their medical supplies. And by the way, we must say a shout out and a happy birthday to John Gerard. Today is John's birthday. That's right.
Happy birthday, John. You deserve it. You deserve a break today. John, we'll just, here on the WNWS side, we'll just keep going live. You go to the recorded break and just join us back when it wraps up. First and goal, Bruins at the Griffin 3. Reynolds goes under center. He'll give it to his fullback, Tharp. There's no room there. Tharp will go down. He may lose. He does lose 2 yards.
Yeah, that's Justin Bray, who's been a very good football player for this team for the last 3 years. He's put on about 10, 15 pounds of really solid weight. He's made a couple of big plays early on. St. George not fooled at all that time. Play action would have beat him down right there.
Second and goal. They say at the 6. A loss of 3 on first down. Back to the I formation. They'll pitch it Wallace. Wallace has some room. Inside the 5 he goes. Down near the 2 and falls closer to the 1. It'll be third and goal as Tyler Wallace again with that power surging down to the goal line.
Well, Wes Smith is a brave dude. That's the same guy that didn't call for a fair catch on the punt.
Here's USJ going quickly with no huddle. And they're in the end zone. Touchdown, Bruins. Oh, boy. USJ went to the line very quickly, snapped it, and the Griffins said, whoa, wait a minute. Too late. Touchdown, Bruins. It's Tommy Browder and company. This chess match, that one went to the Bruin offense. So the Bruins hit pay darts. Take a 6-0 lead. And now the extra point. Ryan Cale in to attempt the extra point. Cale's kick is up and he splits the uprights as the freshman. Looks like he's going to be the next great Bruin kicker. There's a marker now. We'll have to wait and see what that's about. The extra point will count, and the Zebras talk it over. Here's the official call coming up. Personal
Personal
foul.
foul on the Griffins. That'll be assessed on the kickoff.
Well, he pointed at the Griffin, then he pointed towards USJ. But he did it almost simultaneously.
Well, this official's an animated cat, man. I like him.
Yeah, but I can't
here.
tell if it's on both teams or not. With that
Dennis, I don't care if he's animated. Tell me who it's on.
We'll take a break on 101.5, 30-second timeout, John, if you want to go to that. McNary has a 7-0 lead over South Gibson.
Thought that might be a really good football game tonight. 5-1 are the Bobcats.
Let's go down to the sideline. Richard, the narrator, Barber, standing by. Narrator?
I tell you,
Well, narrator, you may have to come closer
blame
to
you,
us. Big
narrator.
guy, yeah. Sound like one of those Peggy lines. Let me tell you something. Then nothing ever comes after that.
Tell you something right now. Looks like this is obviously going to be on St. George as they've walked it up to the St. George 45-yard line, which should be a chip shot into the end zone for USJ. No doubt Pledger's got the leg for that. I really like Pledger, man. I really do. I think special teams-wise, they're young, but they're in shape. They're in good shape.
So here's USJ going to kick it off from the Griffin 45, and Hale just boots it through the uprights. It'll be a touchback, and I don't get it. If you kick off from your opponent's 45, why don't you hit a high pop fly? Because your kickoff coverage team, they only have to go just a few yards. They may catch the ball in the air. I don't understand it. And I've seen it. I've seen it in NFL, I've seen it in college football, and here in high school. Instead of trying or kick a hard ground ball, because Cale is very skilled at that. And if you don't get it, they'll still get the ball around the 20.
Yeah, and I'll tell you
Pledger,
what. Yeah.
Pledger
now, if you got Tyreek Hill back there, I hear you. but I'm with you.
First and 10 for the 20. Here's Smith, the quarterback going to keep it. Got some room around left end to the 25. He's out across the 30 and tackled at the 31. He'll have 11. He'll have a Griffin first down.
Well, he did a great job of selling the dive that time. USJ bid on it. He goes right there. You can see that. Sells it, calls his own number on the power read, goes around the short side, picks up big yards on first down. Smith's an athlete.
Game is presented in part by King Jewelers. Grover, Blue Eyes King. For that one-of-a-kind jewelry experience. Best selection of jewelry, best prices. That's a hard combination of beats. 16B Conrad Drive. First and 10 Griffin from the old 31. On the ground they go, bouncing outside to the 25. Or make it the 35 and tackled at the 37. That's a gain of 6 on first down for the Griffin. Nick Seward running the football to the sideline. Here's Richard, the narrator, Barber.
as I was going to say, USJ's got to be happy with the way that first quarter went. Things didn't get started real good with the penalty on the first offensive series. It moved, started about 7-0 lead.
Yeah, you might want to come over here, narrator.
Headed that way.
Thank you, big guy. Second down and 4. On the ground, left side with room, 40 to the 45, along the hash mark, and out to the 50 before they take him off his feet. On the ground, once again, is Jake Hurley.
Well, watch this, Danny. You're going to see one of the USJ defensive linemen just get destroyed right here by a pulling guard. And again, St. George is showing you they don't mind attacking the short side of the field with that power running game. It's where they've had their success so far. That's a big block that time.
9:33 left. Opening half of football in the second quarter. 7-0 Bruins. The Griffin. A fresh set of downs in midfield. Play action to the air, little swing pass, and that looked like a lateral to me. It's incomplete and goes out of bounds at the 44 or 47, and they say it's a forward pass. Let's take a look at it here.
There's no chance. No, if we run this, Danny, you'll see he released that ball at the 46-yard line on the replay, and the receiver goes up at the 45. Watch this. You'll see this. Throws the ball at the 46.
He sure did.
Ball goes up. Receiver, it's behind the 45. That's definitely a backwards pass.
Now we got an injured Bruin. Is that Carlock on one knee?
Let's see if we can get you a number here.
Game brought to you in part by Best One Tire and Service of Jackson, making your family safe with our family of tires and service. Well, also presented by Sonic of Jackson with 6 Jackson locations. Sonic of Jackson and Sonic's high school slushes. That was Logan Antwine. He was shaken up. He's going to stay in the game, I believe. Well, he's going to have to come out for one play. He was ready to stay in the game. But Sonic of Jackson, those 6 Jackson locations and high school slushes. Ask for your favorite high school in Jackson. Ask for one of their slushes. Let's just say it's USJ, or maybe it's Northside or Southside. Ask for that at any of the 6 Jackson Sonics. 25 cents of all those sales will go to the school you asked for. The kids pick the slush and the flavor. There are over 4,500 sold so far.
That's amazing.
2nd and 10, the Griffin from midfield is on the ground working left side, nothing. Boy, that Bruin defensive line won that battle. Timber King, the 6'1", 190-pound tailback, was crushed behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard.
Yeah, it looks like Carter Craig stepping up in there. Blaine Verdung also shooting the gap, gets through 2 players, including one pulling, but it's Carter Craig who comes up and cleans the play on the short side. St. George going to the well one too many times. USJ sniffing it out.
Let's go to the narrator. He's at the well on the sideline. Narrator. He's getting position. 3rd and 11, a big play here. The Bruins lead it 7-0. Smith, the QB, out of the gun with 4 wide receivers. He's back to throw. Here comes the pressure. Smith under pressure, rolling right, firing downfield, and this pass is high and incomplete at the 35-yard line. Well covered by the Bruins secondary, and we got a flag. We got a marker that may be holding, but I'm afraid to say these days. It is holding on St. George's. The Bruins will surely decline it and force a 4th down and 11.
Easiest holding call you'll ever see. They're trying to block Seth DeBerry. Watch this, Danny. Seth DeBerry from his left defensive end position. You see that, and he sees the quarterback rolling out, so he tries to go out there and watch the left tackle or the right tackle.
Boy.
A couple of times. He said, "You ain't touching my quarterback."
But DeBerry will do that to you. He'll drive you crazy. He's played so well this year. So St. George is going to have to punt it away. Only 10 men on the field. Now they run the 11th on. Willis and Carlock awaiting the punts. It's a hand over end low. Line driver hit at the 26. It's going to be scooped up there by Willis. Around the 20. And he's tackled at the 21. Caleb Willis rolling the dice. He did save the Bruins about 10 yards of real estate. And it looks like he may be shaken up. No, he's okay.
You look like it might be a little bit shook up, yeah, but you're right. He's going to stay in the game. Caleb's really played well the last couple of weeks. He's really starting to come on here in his sophomore year.
Yeah, that ball would have been inside the 10 had he not scooped it. He scooped it in traffic, too. That takes a lot of intestinal fortitude. Because if you mess that one up right in front of the coaches, it's a problem. 1st and 10, the Bruins from their own 21, moving right to left. Here's Reynolds. He'll hand it off. Wallace straight up the middle. Wallace from the 21 will cross the 25 and go down at the 26. 5 yards on 1st down. We'll take that at every play. Here's the narrator. Richard Barber's on the sideline. Narrator.
We swear he's down there.
New York. Come in, New York. Lawson Man. Paul Schulze. Worthy Road Studios, our production company, watching online at WNWS.com. We hear him down there. He's working that microphone.
Might be eating.
2nd and 5. Reynolds, he'll hand it off. Working right side is Wallace. Wallace, not a lot of room, but he does move out to the 29 in heavy traffic.
Well, again, I just marvel at the feet of this young man. Now watch, this should have been maybe a half-yard gain. He nearly picks up the 1st down, Danny. He gets about 4 or 5 yards. They're going to be about a yard short. He had a great forward lean, but to me, it's the feet.
3rd and a yard. Here's Reynolds going to keep it himself. He'll pick up the 1st down. He needed the 30. He reached and fought and clawed and hit the 31-yard line. So the Bruins, with 7 minutes left before halftime, leading 7-0. We'll have a fresh set of downs from the USJ 31-yard line. That's a Hughes high group first down, Bruins.
Really like what I'm seeing out of this offensive line in the power running game. Not huge gashing holes, but just solid, staying ahead of the six, grinding out, ball control offense. I like that.
First and 10, USJ. Reynolds with nearly a full play clock, taking his time. 2 wide receivers and the I formation behind him as he goes under center. Play action. Reynolds rolls right, looking downfield. Now he'll run along that far sideline, 35. Reynolds to the 40 and scampers out of bounds at the 42-yard line. As Garrett Reynolds, you can see him becoming more and more comfortable playing the position of quarterback. He fooled the defensive backs into thinking he was going to throw it, and he picks up 12 yards.
Oh, Danny, I totally agree. He's really starting to come to his own as a quarterback, and sometimes it's the things you don't do. Didn't try to force a throw that wasn't there. Accelerated, picks up the first.
That's a Hughes I group first down, Bruins. USJ's moved from the own 21 out to the 42. Reynolds back under center. Garrett will hand it off. Here's Wallace working right side from the 43, crossing the 45, and he'll fall at the 47-yard line. Let's go to the sideline, see if we can tune in Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, y'all been talking about, agree with you. Remind me of a kid that we watched here, not hardly as big, maybe not as athletic, but corner quick.
What do you tell us every meeting on Monday? He's got 300 feet. That's got 300 feet. Jeez.
I'm the Pope.
5:40 left in the first quarter. 2nd and 6. Here's Wallace to move to the 50. Into St. George's territory at the 45. Breaking tackles to the 40. Along the hash mark to the 35. Down to the 30. And Tyler Wallace carrying Griffins inside the 30. And tackled at the St. George's 29-yard line. After he coughed that fumble up mass, this guy has been on a mad and taking it out of deep. Look at this. Boom, 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 boom. And look at the lineman downfield view. Look at this. 30 yards downfield, his offensive lineman follows him. Was that Mario Nicholson?
Yeah, big Mario Nicholson, man. And Caleb Willis do a great block, too.
32-yard gain. 1st and 10 Bruins from the Griffin 30. Reynolds will hand it off. This time it's the fullback Tharp working right side. He's got room to the 30 or make it the 25. He'll scoot inside the 25 before they drag him down at the 20. He has 9 on first down.
And if you're St. George fan base, you're saying, is this USJ that small team that throws the ball all over the place? You know, where'd this come from?
Oh, boy. Milking that clock down to 4:45 left in the first half. It's 7-0 Bruins. 2nd and 1. Just outside the red zone. Here's Wallace. Pitch right side. He's got room. Inside the 20 he goes along the far hash mark to the 15. And Wallace runs down to the 11 before they tackle him. He nearly fumbled that pitch. Watch it. But never took his eyes from downfield view.
Well, and a great play call. They set it up perfectly. St. George had a DB who had Tharp and Wallace in front of him. He had Tharp blocking him, and he had to try to get through him and get Wallace. Man, perfectly executed play call that time.
1st and 10 Bruins at the 11. So USJ can pick up a first down without getting in the end zone. Reynolds under center. Here's Garrett. He'll hand it off. Wallace breaks a tackle in the backfield. Wallace has the 7. Inside the 5 he goes. And Tyler Wallace is down to the 4. The contact first came in the backfield. Didn't matter. Tyler Wallace picks up 7 on first down.
Yeah, you try to arm tackle Tyler Wallace, forget about it. Nobody's going to do that. That kid's a bull moose.
2nd down and 3 from the Griffin 4. Clock movement. Down to 3:47 left in the first half. Reynolds under center. Here's Tyler. He'll hand it off. Tharp hit at the line of scrimmage. He breaks a tackle and squirts down to the 3. And now it looks like he's going to be shy of that first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 2. The Bruins can pick up a fresh set of downs without scoring. I do believe.
Yeah, no question. Hey, no need to get tricky here. Go with what got you to the dance.
Third down, and they say 2. Timeout, Bruins. Well, let's try the narrator again on this fresh little jewel here. Richard, the narrator, Barber.
We think he's doing right now.
You know he changed the batteries out.
Oh, surely. Of course, Howard was the same person trying to do a sound check into a cell phone, so who am I talking to?
Hey, that's true. The narrator, I guess you got to get back on top of the press box.
Test 1, 2. Good grief.
Hey, nothing but the best here, folks.
My family's very proud.
That's right. This game is presented by Robinson Toyota. Our game-winning drive out the field. Mark Welch is down there. He'll take care of you. How about a 2018 Prius C? $1,500 customer cash. How about a Yaris? $750 customer cash. Avalon Hybrid. They got those bad boys. And the 2019 Avalon is on the ground at Robinson Toyota. And it is a beauty. You can lease it, baby, for only $379 a month. See Robinson Toyota for details. 1453 Van Drive into Collins. Shop online 24/7, RobinsonToyota.com. Third, and they say 2 from the 4 of St. George's. The Bruins inside the 5 for the second time tonight. Here's Reynolds, the QB under center. He'll pitch it. Wallace, right side. Cuts back inside. Wallace inside the 2. Wallace near the goal line, and no signal yet. Now there is. Touchdown Bruins. Tyler Wallace from 4 yards away on a gorgeous cutback against the grain view. When he cut back, he put that head down. Once he does that and he's got some steam, you can go ahead and ring it up. He's going to hit pay dirt.
Yeah, because you're right. St. George actually defended this pretty darn well. They were in place. He just cuts it back inside. Again, I know we talk about the power, but it takes great feet at 240 to cut back like that.
Did you see Mario Nicholson jump out of his way?
Sir.
Wow. Boy, that was a beautiful drive by USJ. Ryan Cale in to attempt the point after. Is it Cale? No, it's Ben Pledger. Pardon me. Pledger's kick is up, and it is good. With 3 minutes and 4 seconds left before halftime, the Bruins take a 14-0 lead over St. George's. On Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 at WNWS.com. Well, as we go to a break on the radio side, Bew, tell us about St. George's this year. I mean, how good is this team? Is this not the St. George we're used to? Andre Lott, the former Tennessee player, the former Melrose product, is the head coach, first-year head coach.
Yeah, Danny, is it the St. George team we're used to? No. But I would like to point out and remind everybody that just a couple of weeks ago, this same St. George team beat ECS at ECS 27-24, and we saw how good ECS was. The Eagles, very good football team, beat USJ by 4 touchdowns. So this is a very good bounce back for USJ here, but there's a lot of football to be played here in this game, no question about it.
So USJ, Pledger kicking off. It's high, it's short, going to be fielded at the 11. To the 15, 20, 25, 30, cutting back, bouncing outside to the 35, to the 40, and scampering out of bounds at the 40-yard line. A nice return by Nick Seward. He brought that back 30 yards for St. George's. 2:53 left in the first half. It's 14-0 Bruins. Plenty of time for St. George's. They have a full complement of timeouts as well.
And if you're Coach Hardigrade in this Bruins defense, you also recognize that St. George also gets the ball to start the third quarter. You're pitching a shutout here against a pretty explosive football team, so you really got to be careful here. You know they want to get the ball to Isaac Smith.
Here is Smith, the quarterback, back to throw. Firing near the sideline, man is open, caught, and then immediately tackled at the 43. That's a gain of 3. Let's go to the narrator. Here's Richard Barber.
So number 11, Wes Smith. You're up, sorry.
That's got to be batteries, doesn't it?
I think so. By the way,
he's standing right next to us.
so Danny, Christian Wallace, the freshman, look at the way he closes down.
yeah.
We haven't seen him this year.
Second down and 7. Smith, QB, back to throw. Fires, got a man wide open. It's incomplete. It's caught out of bounds, and Caleb Willis made sure that it was caught out of bounds as Willis popped Seward in midair so he couldn't get a foot down.
Oh, this is a wheel route, Dan. You see this right here? There's a little fan out there, and look at this. It's perfectly thrown, but Caleb Willis recognized it. Now, it would have been out of bounds anyway, but as you said, Caleb was going to make sure that was the case. Well, you get a stop right here. Now you got 2 minutes to work with to try to score a game.
Boy, I wish we had the narrator with us. Well, he's with us. Wish we had his equipment with us.
In spirit.
There it is, narrator. Well, if he bangs on it, here it is Smith back to throw again. Pressure comes. Smith trying to escape and can't. He'll go down, a sack back at the 36-yard line. Oh, what a big play for the Bruin defense.
Yes, sir, man. Super Mario never gives up. Bruins only bringing 3. Mario is triple teamed, Danny. Watch this on the replay. He is literally triple teamed, fights it all off to pick up this sack. That's a 3-man rush, and Mario fighting off a triple team. You don't see that. What a play.
Super Mario with the sack, and now the Griffin, they've got to punt it right back to the Bruins with 1:45 left before halftime, and the Bruins have 2 timeouts in their back pocket. It's Caleb Willis and Carlock stand at the 30. High, booming, hanging punt. It's going to hit at the 35 and take a big roll for the Griffin inside the 30 and dies at the Bruin 27. Now that's a 38-yard punt. That's a beauty. Had a lot of hang time, and it forced the Bruins to let it hit and pick up some more real estate. So USJ, though, Bass, with 1:26 left before halftime, 2 timeouts. You lead 14-0 on the road. What do you do here?
Well, so first of all, I'm surprised that USJ didn't call timeouts. Have that 4th down. Let about another 25 seconds run because they did have 2 timeouts. I don't completely remain in the run game, but I'm looking for Brendan Long here.
Let's see what the Bruins do. They go under center with 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs. They'll go play action. Reynolds in trouble. Reynolds is sacked. That's going to change things. Oh, boy. This game presented in part by Hickman Realty. Get the #1 winning team in real estate. Called Norm and Tammy Reed, 616-6000 or 664-1006. By the Vein and Vascular Center of Jackson, dvcjackson.com. More coming. Play action. Reynolds sacked, this time inside the 10. And now if you're St. George's, I find my timeout.
Oh, no doubt, and that's exactly what they're going to do. There's a timeout, and I'm sure it's St. George calling.
Yep.
Boy, they were trying to set up the screen, and TJ, there's nobody besides TJ. He's the one that's supposed to receive the screen. Watch this, Danny. As you set this screen up, you're going to need at least a chip out of this somewhere.
Let's take a timeout on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com. Here on the digital TV side, we'll keep it right here. And View, you were saying?
Yeah, let's do this again. Let's run this back. Now watch this, Danny. They're trying to set up this screen to TJ Tharp right off of left tackle. And it's if you can get it set up. Now watch this. Now see here, but he doesn't chip, and no, not nearly enough time. It's set up. If one chip gets there, you can get it to TJ. You got 2 guys right here, and what do you got? Open seas right there. All you got to do is chip this guy, and that's a big play.
Look at that, the guru, the czar of the telestrator. Well, it's you put it in plain English, so you can see one mistake. That's what makes football such a great game. One mistake just blew up a play that could have gained 40 yards.
Absolutely, no question about it. Physical chess is what we've got here.
3rd and 27. Now the Bruins are in a spot from their own 9. USJ. Reynolds, he'll just hand it off. Tharp straight ahead, picks up some chunks of yards out across the 15 and stumbles out to the 21 before they get him off his feet.
That's Timber King on the tackle.
So the Bruins, Tharp ripping off about
That was number 15.
about 10 yards to give the Bruins a little bit of room to punt it. Now, St. George's will burn their final timeout. We'll take it with them on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 and WNWS.com. We'll keep it right here, of course, on the digital TV side view. And a couple of mistakes, and now USJ is going to be very careful, or St. George's will have the football in great position to get some points on the scoreboard with 41 seconds left before halftime.
Yeah, you need a big punt from junior punter Brian Cale. He needs a big punt like he did the last time. We saw Smith is more than willing to, Nick Seward willing to take a hit. You need some big hang time here, and hopefully you can start this possession if you're at USJ's defense on the St. George side of things. But it'll take a big punt.
Vein and Vascular Center of Jackson, Dr. David Laird, Dr. Daniel Day, and Dr. Garrison Smith and Elizabeth Mosley. 395 Hospital Boulevard. Here's the Bruins punt. It's high, beautiful hanging punt. And a fair catch is asked for and made at the Griffin 42-yard line. That was a mistake by Wes Smith. That was as returnable a punt as Wes will ever see.
Well, here's what's crazy. Didn't call one when he had T.J. Tharp bearing down on his sole.
And we pointed that out.
Popped.
And he's still thinking about T.J. Tharp, and he calls a fair catch, and he had 10 yards between him and the Bruin defenders.
At least this drive should definitely have started in Bruin territory. That's a break for the Bruins.
You say that, and it is, but Tharp earned it.
He did.
664-7395 for Vein and Vascular of Jackson. So here is St. George's to the air on first down. Intercepted. 40. 35-30, 25-20. He gone. It's a big six. He set on it. Carter Craig. He almost had one of 90 yards in the first quarter. He was waiting for it. He intercepted it at the 45 in view. He hit the sideline. Carter Craig with a 45-yard pick six, and the Bruins have hit pay dirt for the third time in the first half.
Yeah, just a little banana route releasing out of the backfield that time, and Craig saw it coming all the way and was just sitting back. He baited him, thought he had it there. Man, what a beautiful play that time by Craig, and to the house untouched.
Carter Craig, 5'11", 182-pound junior defensive back for the Bruins. When you say baited, you mean baited.
Yeah.
Holy moly. And we got it looks like a illegal participation on St. George's. Too many men on the field. It'll inch the Bruins extra point team a little bit closer.
Yeah, see, the quarterback didn't freeze Craig, so he knew exactly where he was headed, and he got a beautiful run on the ball.
The Bruins are calling timeout. I wonder if they're considering going for two. Let's take it with them on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 and WNWS.com. And if you're watching on the digital TV side, we'll keep it right here as we think Sarah Cadillac, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Kia. On Stonebridge in Jackson, that's one destination, but so many choices. Shop online 24/7 at sarahjackson.com. By our friends at Home Medical Products. Folks, Home Medical Products is a local company, and if you're a homebound patient, if you're being discharged from the hospital, you have the choice on who you want to supply you with things like oxygen, hospital beds, walkers, bedside commodes, patient lifts, anything you need, medical equipment for your home. Home Medical Products, 660-0084, or you can call 877-660-0084. HMPinc.net. Kevin Atkins, David Steele, Michael Pritchard, Chastity Eaton. Well, USJ thought about going for two. Now they send their... no. Yeah, now they send their extra point team in there. And no need to go for two, David.
No, not at all.
They're playing music. I don't think you're supposed to play music during a play at a football game. Fletcher's extra point is up, and it's good. It is John Denver. This is, by the way, we'll do a station identification. John, I'll just handle it from here because of the technical situation. This is WNWS FM in Jackson, Tennessee. My name's Dan Reeves, along with Seabass. Richard, the narrator Barber. He is on the sideline. This equipment. They say 300 feet. We say 30. It's a shame. He's very talented. Take our word for it.
Bobby said, I'm getting paid for this, right?
Paul Schulze, Lawson Mann, Michael Osborne, digital TV site at WNWS.com. There's the narrator.
Look at that guy right
narrator,
there.
You know, of no fault of your own, you will not receive compensation because you're paid by the word, and we've only heard about 5, and those were broken.
Sexy beast.
I can say Donahoe.
Now it works.
Oh, yeah, now he can talk. Threaten his pay.
He
all
just
of a
threatened
sudden.
us with Mark Donahoe. So the Bruins 21-0 lead. 24 seconds left in the first half. Pledger hits a ground ball that's covered up on the kickoff by St. George's at the 40. This game being presented in part by Cambridge Limited Men's Clothing. Quality men's clothing at affordable prices on North Highland in Jackson. This is where you'll see Jonathan Greer tomorrow looking good. Also presented by Overton Flooring. Al, the floor man at Overton Flooring. By Garrett Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. By Premier Dental Center. In Jackson, over by the ballpark, we'll get to the doctors. Here's Smith. He's to the air. Hurts! Nearly intercepted again. Broken up and incomplete. Man, that's Brendan Long. That was a nice pass. Long batted that one down like a bad habit.
And he put the Hasson chop on it. And check this out. He did a great job of body control not to get there early because it would have been very close. That's a great play by Brendan.
Premier Dental Center in Bells. Highway 412, 663-9999. In Jackson and Christmasville Cove, right across from the Sportsplex, 300-3000. Second and 10, Smith back to the air. He launches one deep down the center of the field, and it's dropped at the 5. Isaac Smith had it in his clutches. Knew he let it get on his shoulder pad, and it popped loose and incomplete. What a throw, though.
Was that 65 yards?
Oh, that's...
Let's see where he releases the ball to Smith. Okay, he steps up and releases that ball from about the 33-yard line.
Let's see where it lands. From the 33, that ball at the 10.
Right about the 10, so forward about 57 yards in the air.
Smith.
My goodness, what a throw.
3rd and 10, only 8 seconds remain now in the first half. Here's Smith again. Oh, that's got to be a penalty. Now he'll roll to his right and fire downfield. It's caught this time by Smith at the 40. And he's wrapped up at the 37 as time expires. And the Bruins will go to the locker room with a 21-0 lead. What a first. Seth DeBerry, watch this.
I saw.
DeBerry was, I don't know what that was, but it should have been a penalty. DeBerry's driving St. George's crazy with pressure on the QB.
You know, I think I don't think there's a penalty here, Danny. Look, I think he just tries to dips down to go for a swim, and the offensive tackle takes that right hand and just tries to push him down. See, Seth dips right here, and he's getting leverage, and he dips down, and then he pushes down right there. I'm not going to call that either. I can live with that.
Premier Dental Center, Bells Highway in Bells, 663-9999. That's Highway 412. In Jackson, Christmasville Cove across to the Sportsplex, 300-3000, the phone number. In Milan, on South 1st Street, the phone number in Milan is 613-2800. PrimDance.com, bringing you this football game.
Now we got just over a minute or so before we get started. Third quarter action here. St. George will have the football to start the third quarter, trailing your USJ Bruins 21-0. Let me give you that one more again. 21-0. The Bruins leading St. George. Now, how did we get here? Again, USJ gets the football, goes 3 and out, punts the football away. St. George marches right down the field,
into Bruin territory, under about the 25-yard line. Missed on a couple of plays. Had a wide open receiver on a third down in the end zone. Couldn't come up with it. USJ holds. They attempt a field goal. It's too short. They don't have no score. USJ gets the ball. Promptly goes on a 68-yard drive. Capped off in the second quarter. After the first quarter, we were scoreless. But 55 seconds into the second quarter, it was Garrett Reynolds calling his own number with a 1-yard touchdown run. The extra point was good. And USJ led 7-0. That extra point by Ben Pledger. Now, about 8 minutes later in game time, it was a 3-yard touchdown run by Tyler Wallace, who has had a fantastic first half of football. He's coming up on about 70 yards rushing in the first half. He dives in from 3 yards. The extra point was good. And USJ had a 14-point lead. It looked like for the world that's what we were going to have at the end of the first half. But as St. George tried to rally and march down the field, it was a 43-yard pick six by Carter Craig, untouched into the end zone. Extra point was good, and USJ went into the locker room with a 21-0 lead. Now, we are about to get George. Ben Pledger, who has a huge, huge right leg. The fantastic freshman taking the place of Charles Campbell. He's going to kick off. St. George back deep, trying to get something going, being shut out in the first half by this Bruin defense. And remember, ball control offense could be the best friend of the Bruins here in the third quarter. They established it in the first half. We'll see if they can do the same thing here in the second half. USJ set to kick. Pledger waiting on that whistle. He gets it. He puts that right foot into it. It's another squib kick right there in the front line. Just gets by them, and St. George will fall on the football right around their own 40-yard line to start things off. USJ doesn't mind giving up the good field position right there that time because they say, we trust our defense. We've pitched a shutout so far. We're the ones with the 3-touchdown lead. We feel like we can hold them right here. They've done that. And frankly, they don't want to get beat deep by some of the good return men for St. George. Mainly, they want to keep the ball out of Timber King and Isaac Smith's hands. So here comes St. George with the football from their own 40-yard line as we get ready to start third quarter action. Here's quarterback Spencer Smith, one in the backfield with him. He turns, hands off right tackle. Here is a gain of about 6 yards. Falling forward, that's Jake Hurley, the senior tailback. They'll say he got about 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. With St. George setting up shop. 2nd and 5 from their own 45-yard line. 11:42 left to go here in the third quarter, live from Collierville, Tennessee. USJ and St. George, if you're just tuning in right now, the Bruins with a 21-0 lead. That's right, 21-0 lead over the same St. George team that just got through knocking off ECS. You truly never know from week to week. Now, pistol formation now. Here's Smith out of the gun in the pistol. Low snap. Here's a fire, a beautiful pass of number 12, Nick Seward. It's a good-looking pass, but I think the receiver got turned around right there. Nice pay fake, and there was a straight go route, and the ball just floated a little bit, or either that or the receiver and the quarterback just weren't on the same page because it was there for them. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, it's going to be 3rd and 5. The Bruins need a big stop right here. If they can force a 3 and out, that would be fantastic for this Bruin defense. So Spencer Smith, as we've seen, remember before the start of the third quarter, late in that second quarter, he uncorked the ball 57 yards in the air. They weren't able to connect, but it tells you what kind of arm this young man has. Here's Smith, now a blitz from the left side by USA, picked up well. Ball floats and goes out of bounds. Intended for Isaac Smith. It looked to me like quarterback and receiver not on the page. Once again, Smith runs the in, and his quarterback, Spencer Smith, throws the out. So 3 and out, no harm done. USJ, nice stand by Coach Hardigree and his Bruins forcing the 3 and out. And so Caleb Willis and it's like Carlock back to deep, back to return this punt, Wesley Carlock. St. George has had a little bit of trouble with their punts. They haven't got a whole lot of hang time and not a lot of distance. See what happens here. This one easily the best punt of the night. A gem that lands about the 32 and takes a St. George roll all the way down to the 17-yard line. And that's where USJ will begin their first drive of the third quarter, leading 21-0 here on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 FM and WNWS.com. Seabass, Dan Reeves, Richard, the narrator, Barber, Paul Schulze, Lawson Mann. Jonathan Greer producing and directing, doing great work tonight, by the way. And, of course, our man Michael Osborne doing his thing as he always does. Now, Garrett Reynolds trots out onto the field. His team's already set, ready to go. Backs in the eye. He's got Tharp and Wallace. He's got twins to the right, to the left side. That's Long and Carlock. Here's a snap, a handoff to Wallace over right tackles, bulls over 3 defenders, falls forward for about a 3 or 4 yard gain. Boy, the yards after contact for Tyler Wallace tonight has just been absolutely fantastic. And for the most part tonight, the Bruins have been able to stay ahead of the chain. Surveys the field. He sees nothing, so he tucks down, calls his own number, pulls ahead to the 28-yard line, where he is popped by one of the linebackers that time. Reynolds going to pick up about 4 yards on that carry. It's going to bring him about 2 yards short. They'll call it, 3rd and 2 from the 28-yard line. Boy, Garrett Reynolds takes a little pop, but jumps right back up. Here's a big 3rd down for the Bruins. Backs in the eye. Tight formation. Here's Reynolds. Turns around, there's a quick toss sweep to Wallace, nowhere to go, cuts back inside, falls forward. It's going to be close, but it looks like he's probably going to come up about half a yard short. Great job. St. George, you could tell they really knew what was coming right there. Forced that thing back inside, and he is going to be about a yard short. So the Bruins also going 3 and out on their first possession. 9:15 left to go in the third quarter. And USJ set to punt. Now, punting has been an adventure on the other end, as number 11, Wes Smith, has been clocked a couple of times tonight. Here's Kale, low snap, goes down and gets it. Beautiful punt that turns over. Now, wait a minute. Wes Smith called for the fair catch, caught it, and then took off trying to run. You can't do that, but no flag thrown. He'll start this possession off at his own 41-yard line. Will the Griffins 3 and out on their first drive here in the third quarter with 8:51. They don't really have the luxury of just, look, it's not panic time if you're St. George by any stretch of the imagination, but you got to believe you're going to see the Griffins really try to get the ball through the air, and they've tried all night long to get the ball to Isaac Smith, 6'3", 185-pound junior. Been trying to get him the ball all night long. They've had their opportunities. He's only got 1 reception on the night. So out of the pistol, here's Smith in the backfield with him. That's going to have to be Pete. He's 23. We don't have a 23 on the roster. Actually, that's Jake Hurley. So Jake Hurley in the pistol with Smith. Smith pins off to Hurley. He comes back. He cuts to the outside, now back inside. Beautiful tackle that time by a young man who has just played one whale of a football game. Carter Craig from his linebacker position steps up, makes the pop. Craig's the one that had the pick 6 with under 30 seconds left to go in the first half. He's also got 4 solo tackles on the night. Just a little power read, and Carter Craig steps right up, forces it back inside, and doesn't even have to wait for his team to get there. He makes the tackle anyway, sets that edge, forces it to come back inside, and makes the tackle. Man, Carter is having a huge football game tonight, the junior, number 24. No gain on the play, so St. George from their own 41-yard line. Back in motion. Here's Hurley off of the right tackle, makes a man miss, kicks out the hash marks, and picks up the first down, accelerates for a 12-yard gain. Brendan Long on the tackle. Well, TJ Tharp took a great angle, but that was a beautiful little hop step back inside by Hurley, man. And TJ Tharp, he took a great angle, maybe over pursued just a little bit, but that was a nice play that time. by Hurley. Into Bruin territory down to the 47-yard line of the Bruins goes St. George. Here's Smith. He calls his own number. Now actually pulls back and throws it out into the left flat and finds number 12, Nick Seward. He lulled the defense to sleep. They thought he was gonna take off and run the ball. They collapsed. As soon as they did, he flicks it over to the wide side flat to Seward. Right around the 50-yard line, Seward accelerates and does the rest. Let's see if they give him the first down here. They'll say he comes up just a little bit short. It's going to be 2nd and 1. Now they want to try to. Now they're going to call for a measurement. Yeah, this is pretty close. I don't blame them. Down around the 37-yard line, it's just too close to call. So they'll bring the sticks out and see what we've got. If you're just tuning in, 7:25 left to go. USJ 21-0 over St. George. And again, also if you're just tuning in, the big shocker so far of the night: Trenton Peabody trailing Gibson County at home at the half, 6-0.
Color me surprised. Pardon me. Color me surprised in a lot of different ways. When Bu's on by himself, he starts talking really loud, wearing himself out. Do you notice that? Because that's a lot of energy.
Let's remember, Bu also talked during a 20 minutes straight during the halftime show. He's a little winded.
Yep, he's working like a tractor, folks. 7:25 remaining. We're in quarter number 3. USJ 21-0 advantage over St. George's. My name's Dan Reeves, along with Seabass, Richard, the narrator Barbers at his sideline. On the digital TV side, Paul Schulze, Lawson Man, Michael Osborne, Worthy Road Studios. Our producer and director is Jonathan Greer.
2007.
St. George's on the move in the third quarter. Just shy of a first down and 2nd down at about a yard from the Bruin 37. You're listening on the radio. St. George's moving left to right, or making right to left here in the third quarter. Smith to QB out of the gun. Here's Smith, and we got markers down. Some movement along that front wall. Going to push St. George's back 5. So a 2nd and 1 will turn into a 2nd and 6. Clock will stop on the whistle. 7:23 left, third quarter. Gibson County 6-0 over Peabody. Holy moly, Lawson Man is smiling from ear to ear. 14-7, Bolivar leading Milan. If Milan don't win this one, they may not win another one.
Yeah, and Liberty leading Northside at the half the reservation, 12-7.
2nd down, 6. On the ground, left side. It's a fumble, and the Bruins scoop it at the 40. It's Wesley Carlock, and he's tackled at the 43-yard line. Excellent athletic play. Wesley Carlock scooped that one on the move, and he was going to head down that sideline if he'd not been tripped up. Turnover, big break for the Bruins.
Well, and okay, you know, that is Tyler Wallace from his linebacker position. It comes up and gets ahead, and that helmet puts it right on that football, and he hits it, and it just squirts right out. And you're right, Carlock picks it up in stride. Big play by the defense.
So here the Bruins after a big turnover by Hardigrees units. 1st and 10, the old 42. Here's Wallace working right tackle. He'll bounce outside along the numbers and move from the 43 out to maybe the 44. It's a gain of only a yard.
Well, one of the first times, and it looks like TJ may have missed his man on this lead block that time. It wasn't. That's not him. He's got the backer right there. The right tackle's got to do a better job of making that seal block right there. That's one of the first times they didn't have a good gain on first down.
2nd and 10. Reynolds play action. He'll go up top. Got a man open. Carlock caught. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He gone. Touchdown Bruins. Wesley Carlock. He got behind the secondary, and Garrett Reynolds put it right on him. And the Bruins take a 27-0 lead. That one covers 57 yards. Beautiful play action, and Reynolds On a dive right to Carlisle.
Boy, you're right. It's just a straight go, completely unchecked off the line of scrimmage. Zero safety help whatsoever. Perfect strike. That thing was open from the time they snapped it.
We're having some technical difficulty. They've got a major firewall here, and it's causing us a lot of problems if we're going in and out with audio. You can watch the game at WNWS.com. 27-0 Bruins. Who'd have thunk it? You know, Griffin, they had a big win just about a week or so ago.
Yeah, they beat ECS, the team that beat us by 4 touchdowns. Beat them 27-24.
Incredible.
That's all I heard. I'm like,
Well,
I walked in behind this boy and
27-0. Here is the extra point coming. Pledger. Perfect. He's perfect on the 9, and the Bruins take a 28-0 lead. 6:33 left. Third quarter on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com. It's beautiful, Abu.
Oh, absolutely, man. Look at that. Again, just a straight go. Straight release. Where's your help? Especially to the one guy they've been burning you with all night long.
I'm glad they didn't have it. How about Carlock? More importantly, Abu getting behind that secondary and Reynolds putting it right on it.
Well, and Wesley catches everything. He just does. Remember, he's also the same young man that just got the fumble. He just had the turnover and just got it, picked it up, scooped it, got a few yards, and next thing you know, 2 plays later, dialing his number up in stride with a big 57-yard strike from Garrett Reynolds. Man, what a performance tonight by this team, and really all phases of football. They're not turning the ball over. They're playing good, rock-solid defense, and they're making most of their opportunities on offense. You really got to like the way the Bruins are playing tonight.
So here's USJ kicking off. Blanchard. It's a ground ball, and it's loose. And the Bruins have a shot at it at the 40. And the Bruins take advantage of the shot, and they get the football. And Blanchard's done it again. I don't know how you could be more skilled at those squib kicks to bounce them off of those up men's shins, but he's done it multiple times this year.
Yeah, he does it all the time. And coming up with that loose ball is Steele Haynes, the freshman linebacker. Good job. What a performance by Coach Strapp's team tonight, at least through 2.5 quarters.
So here is USJ from the Griffin 40. Back to the air. Back to Carlisle. And it's incomplete at the 5. He nearly made the catch. It may have been stripped away, but that ball was another Garrett Reynolds laser.
And that was the deep post, and that was under pressure, by the way. But look at Garrett Reynolds step tall. He knows he's about to get hit, and he got popped, no doubt. Delivered a strike, but that was pretty good coverage. Carlock just couldn't bring it in.
6:21 left. Third quarter, 28-0 Bruins. They got to run an option right side. Reynolds will keep it. Spin out of a tackle. He has the 45 as his helmet pops loose. And a flag comes in as Reynolds goes down at the 34. He would have moved from the 40 down to the 34 with a 6-yard pickup. And we'll see. Markers came in as Reynolds went down. His helmet popped off his head, and Wesley Carlock, he thinks it's St. George's.
Let's see here. This is I'm not really sure on the rules. This isn't one of those rules. This high school got the rule that if your helmet comes off and you do anything else, it's a personal foul.
Well, for the runner, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know in that
situation
not even just
right
the runner, because
anybody.
Yes, who has the ball is what I'm saying. I don't see how you would have stopped. And they picked the flag up because it came off as he was going down. If you watch the replay here, here's iGroup replay, Bill.
Yeah, and boy, Garrett calling his own number, a couple of spin moves.
There's no way you can stop.
Nothing you can do about that.
And officials recognize they pick the markers up. Good job of the officials. That gain is 6 yards, however. It's 3rd and 4 for the Bruins from the 34-yard line. And Tharp moved before the snap. That's going to push him back 5 yards, the fullback. He flinched, and the official standing right there dropped the marker.
Yeah, and you wonder because they're right in that area right there, a little too far out for a field goal. If you don't get it right here, this penalty backs it back to about the 39. So that's kind of big, especially if you don't convert. Because you're sitting around that 34 with a 4-touchdown lead, you're probably not going to punt. But if they don't pick anything up here, we'll be surprised to see Cale trot out.
.5:38 left. Third quarter, 28-0. USJ.
Well,
Here at St. George's view.
Here's the deal. Garrett Reynolds has to come off the field. That's what it is. There was confusion by the officials. So checking in for USJ is Andrew Smith.
3rd and 9 after the penalty back at the 40. They'll pitch it at another flag. This is going to be on USJ, I believe. Look, they moved early once again. Wallace will be taken down before the line to make, which is the 30-yard line. He'll be dropped at the 36.
That right side line with JP, phone number 11. Smith up in there.
They may pick that flag up as well. I thought I saw USJ leave early, and they did. I'm surprised they let the play go.
Yeah, me too. And you saw that Smith almost fumbled that snap right there. Of course, he's coming in. Now let's see if Reynolds should be able to come back into the game on that one, and he will. That's a tough spot for Smith to come in, no question. The official has called 3rd and 4th down.
I don't know how you waive off illegal procedure. I guess if it's an illegal shift, they'll let the play go, and you can't wave it off, and that's what happened. So they'll decline the penalty. It'll make it 4th and 6 for USJ, and they'll go for it from the Griffin 30, or make it, the Griffin 36. Play action. Reynolds will roll right. He'll fire. It's caught at the 28-yard line. They needed 6. They get 8. It's Reynolds to Mr. Carlock, Wesley Carlock, and a huge eye group. First down Bruins as Garrett Reynolds is playing his finest game at QB for the Bruins.
So just rolling to his right. Strong throw. Perfect form. A dart right there down to the 28 and a first for the Bruins.
Wow. Reynolds is really settled in to his new position behind center. 4:40 remaining third quarter, 28-0 Bruins, and they're on the move. A fresh set of downs at the Griffin 27. The I formation under center Reynolds. Wallace with a give inside the 25. Wallace will move down to the 21. He'll have 6 on first down.
Well, it's the first one of those big fullback blocks we've seen over the year from TJ Tharp right here. Look at that 8-gap blast just destroying the right defensive tackle for St. George. TJ is a man.
Down to 4:04 left. Clock moving. Third quarter, 28-0. St. USJ with a big lead. Here's Wallace again with room. 20. He'll move inside the 20 along the far hash mark, and they'll take him off his feet. They'll mark him at the 18, right around the 8, or maybe closer to the 15. Hard to see the yard markers on the far side. It's 3rd and 1, however. And the Bruins go quickly again, and they'll easily pick up the first down. USJ's used that tonight 3 times. 2 of them hit pay dirt. Garrett Reynolds just takes the snap and pushes forward First down, Bruins.
Well, the interior of that offensive line for USJ has played so well tonight, especially in those short yardage situations. Those were not only they're being converted, they're converted easily.
Southside 14-0 at halftime over Lexington. 3rd and 10. Bruins. I'll make it 1st and 10 Bruins, and we get markers.
Here's an update for you guys from Medina. Listen, this one reads, end of 3 in Medina. McNary 21, South Gibson 7.
What's that again, Bew?
End of 3 in Medina. McNary 21, South Gibson 7. I'm not overly surprised by that. You? I really like this McNary team.
Yeah, I'm surprised at the gap in the score. I mean, South Gibson's played arguably one of the tougher schedules in West Tennessee this year. I'm not surprised it's that McNary's winning, however. 1st and 15, it was illegal procedure again. That'll push the Bruins back to the Griffin 20. Play action, Reynolds rolls left. He's looking to throw. He throws, and it is dropped inside the 10. Maybe Carter Wesley Carlock, the intended receiver. In heavy traffic, Carlock thinks he should catch everything. He slaps his hands in disgust as Reynolds, boy, look how he's playing quarterback. Bam.
Yeah.
Right in the money.
I mean, first of all, the play action was very good because he sold it perfectly. He comes out of that little bootleg, finds this guy, just good defense that time. I love the way Garrett's playing tonight.
.238 remaining. Third quarter, 28-0 Bruins. 2nd down and 15. Back to the ground, moving left side from the 20 down near the 15. He'll drop at the 14. A gain of 6 for Wallace.
And if you'll notice, Danny, after these plays just like this, with 2:20 left to go in the third quarter, it's taken longer and longer for these St. George defensive linemen to get off the floor, get off the ground.
3rd and 9. The Bruins just inside the Griffin 14. High formation. Reynolds back to throw. Looking. Oh, he's hit as he throws, and it's up in the air and incomplete. So 3rd and 9 at the 14. We'll see if the Bruins will go for it on 4th down and 9. This O'Brien has taken a 21-14 lead with 5 minutes left against Crockett County there in the 4th quarter. Wow.
Holy cow. Look at that Henry County Germantown game. It was knotted at 14 at the half. Now the Red Devils pushed ahead 24-14.
Peabody 7, Gibson County 6. 3rd quarter, what a game. It must be electric over there at Peabody tonight. You know what?
You imagine that?
4th and 9, the Bruins will send Plancher in, the freshman kicker, to attempt a 31-yard field goal. He sets up in the center of the field. Plancher's kick winding downfield. That kick is no good. He hooked it off to the left. The freshman kicker, his first miss of the night. With a minute 55, however, left in the 3rd quarter, USJ burned up almost 6 minutes off the clock.
Yeah, great point, Danny. It's you would like to have paid it off, man. Maybe make it a 5-possession game there. But you know what? I think the 6 minutes that are melted off the clock, I can live with that. If I'm Coach Strapp, I'll live with that.
Milan and Bolivar now tied at 21 apiece. St. George is down 28-0. Just under 2 minutes remain. 3rd quarter, they take over 1st and 10 at their own 20. Little swing pass dropped out in the flat. Looking for Jake Hurley, and he tried to run with it before he caught it.
Yeah, and you know, pretty much, have you noticed, Danny, that every time they sent Hurley in motion, that they usually throw to him a swing out in the flat? Have you noticed that? Might see if they try to set something up, a little decoy next time in motion, go the other way.
What did the narrator run off to, you know?
No.
I miss him.
He's a nice guy. You know, his birthday is Sunday.
Yep. 2nd and 10. Smith to the air. Sideline pattern. Far side. It's complete and then hammered as he catches the football by Carter Craig. On the reception, Nick Seward. Seward will pick up on the play. 6 yards.
And the Bruins just kind of keeping everything in front of them right now, only bringing 3. But what a job closing that time by Caleb Willis. Man, he just continues to improve as this season goes along.
Third and 4. St. George's from their own 26. Here's Smith. He's going to run it. Quarterback draw, and he's not going to get there. He's corralled by Mario Nicholson at the 26-yard line. No gain on 3rd and 4.
Man, Mario is so good at disengaging from DBs. Look at this. I mean, you got 3 offensive linemen, or 5 offensive linemen and 3 defensive linemen. Mario disengages from a double team and forces 4th down. Man, I love his hustle. He's a good football player. He's turned himself into a very, very good football player.
St. George's, they're going to have to punt it away, Bew. It's Willis and Carlock will send her back to the Bruin 40. High, short punt. This one's going to hit on the Griffin side of the field and kick backwards with some English. It hit at the 45 and kicked backwards to the 42, and the Bruins have great field position with only 50 seconds left in the third quarter, leading 28-0.
Well, you know what was interesting about that is on the punt that time, I don't know if you could tell that, he got out of rhythm. He took an extra step, and it got his alignment out, and that's why the ball ended up basically going straight up in the air. Holy smokes. I've never seen that before. So here we are, Bruins taking over inside of Griffin territory from the 42-yard line. And that's Wallace straight ahead for no gain. He's wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
Griffin's front line get a hold there.
You got to really expect USJ to just, I mean, with just over 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter and a 4-touchdown lead, plus the ball inside Griffin territory. Not going to get too cute here. You're going to see a whole lot of Wallace and Tharp going forward in this football game. Man, again, so if you're just tuning in, we expected a great football game. We expected a game where St. George and USJ, take it all the way to the final buzzer. It's been all Bruins all night long. Except that first drive by St. George, it really looked like they were going to go in and score and punch it. They didn't get it done. USJ held them, and since then, they've been out of whack the rest of the game, and USJ has played fantastic, and that is the end of the third quarter. USJ lets the clock run out. So we've got 12 minutes to play here from Collierville, Tennessee, and if the Bruins can protect a 28-point lead on the road against St. George, a team who's been a thorn in their side, they're going to get their second region win. How about that, Reeves?
Yep. I think can you get on your phone? Let me mess with this. Jonathan's call it again.
Yeah, play-by-play on the phone. I can certainly do that. Yes, sir.
Hey, John.
I can't wait to see them leave. They got it won't matter. Yeah, exactly. Well, we can't wait to see it.
Well, we apologize for the technical difficulties.
They're flying.
We get ready to start the fourth quarter. USJ with the football from the St. George 41-yard line, 2nd and 9 for the Bruins. Expect a whole lot of ground game out of the Bruins here in the fourth quarter. Reynolds under center, a little option football, fakes the pitch, keeps it himself. He's going to lose about half a yard.
I hope
Garrett's still
Quarterback keeper
down.
on the option will be brought down by number 4, Timber King.
Absolutely not what you want to
He's
see.
down on the play.
You don't want him calling his own
Played down for
number
USJ.
in a 4-touchdown game. And right now, Garrett is still down on the field. Garrett not getting up. A short side option pitch.
Okay, perfect. All right. Be careful going
Trying to see
home.
where they're looking at. Looks like they're going for maybe
Tomorrow.
looks like his left ankle right now. Garrett in a whole bunch of pain. He's being attended to by some of the folks that are on the sidelines. Coach Strapp out there as well. Coach Browder looking at their quarterback right now. This is absolutely not what the Bruins need. They played a fantastic game, pretty much escaped injury. But right now, all the concern is about their senior quarterback, Garrett Reynolds, who, as we told you, has really come along. You know, look, he got thwarted into this situation about a month ago when Cody Smith went down against Crockett County, you know, in a non-contact injury that cost him his season with that ACL. Yeah, they're looking at that ankle right now. And as a matter of fact, he cannot put any weight on it. He's actually lifted and carried off the field by several of the staff. That is not a good sign for the Bruins. Now, don't know if it's going to have any impact on tonight's football game. It may not. Again, it's 11:45 left to go in this football game. The Bruins have a 28-point lead, and they're about to punt the football away from the St. George 42-yard line.
Third down.
Correction, it's just third down, so they'll have another play here to go. Andrew Smith, the 5'11", 145-pound sophomore quarterback in the game. Now, he was in the game just a few minutes ago when Reynolds' helmet came off, but it's very different this time around. Here's where you lean on your running game. Here's Smith, short toss sweep to, that's Wallace on the short side. Wallace making people miss, dragging defenders all the way down to the 34-yard line. That's a gain of 8. It's going to set up 4th and 2 and makes for a pretty interesting call right here to see what Coach Strapp wants to do. It's 4th and 2. You can attempt to pin St. George deep, or you can go for a first down here and really make things difficult on the home team, turning by for a touchdown. It's like the Bruins going to go for it. Backs in the eye. Here's the same play. It's all sweep. The play is blown dead. It was the exact same play, and it wouldn't have gone anywhere. Let's see what we've got here. We've got false start by the Bruins. That's going to make it 4th and 7 now from the 39-yard line, and that's going to end that attempt. They're going to go ahead and bring out Brian Cale, the junior punter here. So from the 40-yard line, called the 39-yard line of the Griffins, USJ is going to punt. Again, Cale, the junior punter, coming in, going to try to pin this team deep. Wes Smith back on about his own 10-yard line. Here's the snap. It's a low punt, but it's a spiral that hits around the 20-yard line and gets a Bruin roll. Here's a hit that should be a personal foul. Timber King just takes TJ Tharp and knocks him off his feet. TJ says, yeah, you sure you want to do that, big fella? I don't think you want to this one. I'm looking. Right in front of the official, no call. We'll play on. TJ's fine. Matter of fact, he's doing jumping jacks, and he's telling Timber King, man, I hope you get the football here on the next drive. Now, Timber's actually on the sidelines right now being talked to by Andre Lott, his head coach. Says, what are you doing, son? He's actually getting an earful right now from Coach Lott. So we'll see what happens with that if Timber comes back in the game now with 10:30 left to go here in the football game. St. George taking over from their own 10-yard line. Here's Spencer Smith in the shotgun. Drops back, wants to set up the screen. Shakes a tackle, goes downfield, trying to hit Smith. Great coverage that time by Brendan Long. One-on-one with Isaac Smith. Now, Brendan Long, guys, is 5'11". Isaac Smith is 6'3". Now I got a player injured for USJ that looks like Mario Nicholson. He comes up hobbling well after the play.
Player from USJ.
Mario looks like in the knee possibly. He's hobbling. He looks like he's going to be able to get off the field. He will. That will continue. Boy, that was a great job that time by Brendan Long because he was one-on-one with a big, talented receiver. And if Smith hauls that ball in, it's 6 points, and all of a sudden, we may have ourselves a different game. But he doesn't, and we don't. 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line, St. George, trailing 28-0. Here's Spencer Smith. in the shotgun, drops back, surveys. Here's a strike over the field, over the middle of the field, and then drops. Oh, he threw a dime that time to Nick Seward. Seward looked like he had it, but he couldn't hold on to it. Ball comes out, and that will be 3rd and 10 from the 11-yard line for St. George. Well, that was a great strike that time by Smith. He's got a cannon, threw the ball nearly 60 yards in the air in the first half. We know he can get that done. He's not going to win any lollipops around here. But now, 3rd and 10, the Griffins. And you got to wonder, I mean, you don't get it here. Down 4 touchdowns with 10 minutes to go, you're not going to get a whole lot more opportunities. So who knows? This possibly could even be 4-down territory. Here's Spencer Smith over to his right side. Got a man open and throws it out of bounds. Ball goes over his receiver's head. Had a man who had gotten behind the defenders. That was Seward once again. Seward's frustrated. The ball sails that time. And it's 4th down. And here's your answer. St. George going to bring on the punting team here now. 10:07 left to go in the football game. St. George basically going to be punting from their own end zone. They have not punted well tonight at all. The last punt was 7 yards. So Carlock and Willis lining up right around the 44-yard line of St. George in Griffin territory with just over 10 minutes left to go. Here's a good snap. Here's the punt. Punt's one of the better punts of the night. Hits at the 43, rolls, nearly hits Carlock. He sidesteps it out of the way. And all things considered, that's actually a pretty darn good punt for St. George. It'll come to rest at the Bruin 43-yard line. It's a 46-yard punt by St. George that time. Punting from their own end zone, and the Bruins will take over. 9:56 left to go in this football game, and the Bruins with a 28-0 lead. Now the story is that on the last possession on 3rd down, calling his own number on option football, Garrett Reynolds went down with what looked like a possible ankle injury, had to be carried off the field, and he is not back in for this possession. Andrew Smith going to hand off to Wallace. He's hitting the backfield, tries to break a tackle, leans forward, and somehow actually gets positive yardage out of that. He was hit by 3 players in the backfield, spins ahead, and picks up, we'll call it 2 yards, 2nd and 8 for the Bruins from their own 45-yard line. One of the Griffins slow to get up now. It finally does. Would be surprised to see the Bruins put the ball in the air the rest of the night. We've got a final from Southside. It's gone final Southside. 21-14 over Lexington. Man, that game ended quickly. But Southside gets the win, 21-14 to improve to 7-0 on the season. Now here is Tyler Wallace hitting the backfield. He loses the football. It comes out. It's going to be recovered by St. George. Careless football handling that time. Not a great job blocking, but you got to remember, St. George knows what's coming now. The threat of the pass pretty much out the window right now with Garrett Reynolds going down. The Bruins making one of the very few mistakes that they've made on the night. So if we get through that fumble, recovered by, looks like Cameron Turner. See if we can get you some more finals. Huntington improving to 7-0 on the season with a 42-0 whitewashing of Collinwood. That game was in Huntington tonight. Milan has gone on top of Bolivar after trailing in the first half. The Bulldogs on the road trying to get to 3-4. Bolivar 1-5 on the season right now. Milan with a 28-21 lead. Here's the strike from Smith. Isaac Smith has to go down to the 34-yard line. Has to go down to the ground to get that ball, but he does. Nice catch, nice cradle. Smith is a big, powerful receiver. He's got that look. When he gets off the bus, you just know, man, this is one of those big play receivers. And they've been trying to get the ball to him all night long. That's just his 2nd reception. So with 9 minutes left to go in the football game, USJ leading 28-0. Here's St. George from the Bruin 35-yard line. Spencer rolls to his right. Here's a pass completed. But man, that looked to me. Look at the replay. He got it to Seward down to the 27-yard line.
Holding on the
But it sure looked to me like Seward had his foot out of bounds when he made that catch. But it's not going to matter anyway because there's mustard on the field. It's holding on the Griffins, and we're going to back it up. Now the penalty wipes this out. But when Seward made that catch, his right foot was out of bounds by about a half a yard. Doesn't matter. St. George will now have the ball first down and 25 from, well, basically from midfield right now with 8:40 and a running clock. 5 wide receiver set. Spencer the only one in the backfield. Trips to the left. Here's Smith. Pressure from Seth Eberry, steps up, throws a missile down to the 25-yard line. And that's time he finds Seward, who's been his favorite target tonight. Seward with a big strike.
There's a flag on the play.
And there's another flag on the play. Let's see what this one's all about. Looks like it may be on the Bruins. This play may stand. First and 25.
Personal foul on USJ. That's a first down. Griffin.
So you get the 30-yard pickup plus the damage from the personal foul. And St. George is in business now. Let's not put the seal on this game just yet. With 8.5, and I know it's 28-0 right now, but USJ losing Garrett Reynolds, and right now St. George knocking on the door. First and goal, the Griffins from the Bruin 10-yard line with 8:23 left to go in this football game. 5 wide receiver set. Here's it's a back shoulder fake, back in the end zone. Nothing Caleb Bush could do about it. He was just outmatched. Isaac Smith goes up high, points the ball, and the Griffin on the board for the first time tonight. Smith to Smith, the connection. Little pump fake there, throws a bullet, and guess what? There's a flag on the play. Let's see what this one is.
Good ball. Personal foul.
Once again, by the Bruins. The touchdown will stand. That's 2 straight personal fouls. By the Bruins. Everything they've done right so far in 3 3/4.
I believe that 15 yards will be assessed.
Kind of coming unwound here.
On the kickoff. Yes, it will.
In the early stages of the 4th quarter here in Collierville at St. George. Waiting on the extra point here. That's Karsten Haddad with the extra point. He splits the upright. It's up and good, and your new score with 8:13 left to go in this football game. USJ surrenders their first point of the night, and they lead 28-7 on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 FM. Brought to you by Cambridge Limited Men's Clothing. Quality men's clothing at affordable prices on North Highland. By Poplar Corner Exxon, the only true full-service station in Jackson, offering all major and minor vehicle repairs and service with propane gas at the intersection of Hollywood and the 45 bypass. By Sarah Cadillac, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, and Kia. Stonebridge Boulevard right here in Jackson. One destination, so many choices. Shop online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at sarahjackson.com. By Hickman Realty. Norm and Tammy Reed. Get the #1 winning team in real estate. Call Norm and Tammy Reed at 616-6000 or 664-1006. 1006. Again, I want to wish our very good friend John Gerard a happy birthday tonight. Happy birthday, John. And by Range USA, Jackson's only indoor shooting range and handgun permit classes. See rangeusa.com. All right. The Griffins will kick off from the Bruin 45-yard line. Wouldn't be surprised to see an onside kick right here. That's exactly what we've got. But it's actually a little lollipop over the front line of the defense. It's taken at the 4-yard line by Carlock. Makes a couple of players miss. Spins up all the way to the 10-yard line. What a headsy play that time by
on the tackle.
Carlock, man, that was a live ball, and he goes down, scoops it up, and actually is able to get a few yards. And the Bruins, he was not great starting position, but that ball, to rest runner on the 2-yard line. Wesley had to make something happen, and he did. He gets it all the way up to the 10-yard line. So the Bruins, in a situation where St. George knows exactly what they want to do, they're going to try to run this thing out. 8 minutes, 8 seconds, trying to get across the finish line, leading by 3 touchdowns. Starting this drive from their own 10-yard line, Andrew Smith. The sophomore under center. Here's a straight give to TJ Tharp over the right side. A little quick hitter. TJ moving people right through the line of scrimmage, right there. A little A-gap dive. He goes for about 10 yards. It's good enough for a first down, but
Cameron Turner.
Let's see what we've got here. Okay, wave it off. So it's going to be a first down for the Bruins. Nice job on first down. TJ picks up about 10 and a half. Now there's confusion once again. Are they looking? Yeah, okay. They didn't move the chains. That was the problem. The chain crew didn't get the chains moved. So now we're good and set to go. 8 minutes left to go in this football game. And the Bruins with the ball from their own 20-yard line, backs in the eye. Here's a give once again. Same play, same result. TJ Clark moving ahead, 8 yards on the pickup. That's exactly what you want to see. Fullback dive, 2 straight plays, nets you 18 yards. You couldn't draw it up better if you wanted to. 2nd and 2 with 7.5 minutes left to go in the football game. Can the Bruins hold on to this 3-touchdown lead and get their 2nd region win of the season? And what would be considered maybe a mild upset. I suppose now the score difference is certainly something that people are going to take a look at around the state. So, man, Bruins really came to play tonight. So, 2nd and 2 from their own 28-yard line. And again, the Bruins, there's 20 seconds left on the play clock. You can guarantee they're going to let a whole lot of these play clocks roll down and play ball control offense. There's no need to snap it until then. And here's Wallace off of right tackle. Hurdles over a defender, makes 2 guys miss, wraps up, keeps trucking, and even though they know what's coming, they still can't stop it. Tyler Wallace all the way up to the 46-yard line, a gain of 18 off of right tackle. And right now, the Bruins are making a living on the right side of that offensive line and just getting it done with the 2 big dogs, Wallace and Clark. Andrew Smith has been asked to come in here and manage this football game and get him to the finish line, and so far the sophomore is doing just that. 6.5 minutes left to go. The Bruins, can they do it? Here's Smith under center, backs in the eye, 1st and 10, straight give to TJ Thorpe, makes a man miss, busts over another one, stays on his feet running, needs to be one man track.
He did, and there goes Thorpe right down the field, TJ Thorpe. As we're back with you. And folks, it was a system-wide failure with our hosting company. It's been a crazy night here.
A little bit. It's been a fun one, though.
But that run by TJ Thorpe is down to the 31-yard line. USJ with a 28-7 lead. Just over 6 minutes left in the 4th quarter here at St. George's. Very impressive game tonight by the Bruins. 12 on the play clock, and Garrett Reynolds is milking every second tonight off that play clock. And Reynolds went out, pardon me, Andrew Smith, 5'11" sophomore. He's the 3rd QB this year for the Bruins.
But this is such an impressive drive by the Bruins. I mean, like I said, St. George knows exactly what they're trying to do and still has not been able to stop it.
Did you see the injury I was working on?
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't see exactly what happened, but it looks like maybe a left ankle. But the thing that makes you concerned is he had to be carried off the field. Couldn't put any weight on it.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. The Bruins at the 33 of St. George's. They pitch it right side. Cutting back. And the ball's loose. It's on the turf. Who's got it? Well, St. George's. That's who has it. Well, oh boy. That was Wallace. He lost control of it. You see cutting back inside, and he had it stripped away. And 5 minutes even left. St. George's with a turnover will take over 1st and 10 at their own 32, Buell.
Yeah, and look, Tyler's just got to take better care of that football. He's played well tonight, and he's always looking for extra yardage. But in this game situation, you just got to take care of the football.
There's Smith out of the gun. Back to throw. Steps up. Looks. Sacked. And the ball's loose. Hits on the turf. Who's got it? It's a man scrambler for it. Let's see. Well, St. George's got back on it.
Come by the Griffins.
Look who's in there. I mean, come on, man. Seth DeBerry's all over the place, and Mario Nicholson was there as well. I think Mario may have stripped him.
Yeah, and look, triple teamed once again, spins out of it, nails Smith and forces that fumble. That's the second time Mario has got a sack off of a triple team.
Super Mario. It's gone final. Southside 6-0. Or is it 7-0 now? 21-14 over Lexington. Smith out of the gun, back to throw again. He's hit as he throws, and it'll go incomplete. That ball came free, but they say arm was in the motion of throwing. And the Bruins, that defense in front has just been led by Mario Nicholson tonight. It's a three-man front. DeBerry on the left side, Nicholson in the middle. They've just been dominant, and they beat up on Smith tonight. Who's over on the right edge there? Is that's Long?
No, that's Blaine Verdung.
Verdung is over there. That's right. 3rd and 13. Here's Smith out of the gun, back to throw. Here comes the pressure again. He escapes, rolling right. He's going to run it. 30 along the numbers, 35, and he's ushered out of bounds at the 38. And they get a lobby and get a penalty flag. Wow.
Make up your own mind and don't be talked into it.
That was a gain of about 10. There's going to be a 15-yard penalty added on to the end of that run.
There was also a second foul that was a second flag right there on the sidelines about 10 seconds later.
I think they all just threw it. One official having trouble getting the marker out of his pockets.
That ball, personal foul.
Yep.
Horse collar.
Horse collar. Well,
can't really argue with that.
First down, Griffin.
So that's going to be it. They'll move it ball 25 yards, or about 27 yards for the run and the penalty. 1st and 10 at the Bruin 46. Here's Smith out of the gun again. Back to throw. Back to the 8th. Intercepted. Wesley Carlock. He caught it on his way to the turf at the 37-yard line. An INT. Well, that's Logan Antwi. There's a flag
on the play.
On the play. Let's see.
Oh, man.
I thought it was Carlock. But it was Logan Antwi. Let's see what the flag is for. Dead ball and sportsmanlike on USJ.
It's like the 4th one in this quarter for the Bruins. I don't know what they're doing or saying, but they need to knock it off. There's one thing to be intense. It's quite another to play stupid.
I just thought they got up celebrating the interception. Now right there. I mean,
that's a post-possession play. That would just be USJ's ball, and it is.
USJ has the ball.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But that was pretty weak there.
I totally agree.
So the Bruins take over another turnover by Artigree's defense. 1st and 10, their own 25. Willis will run it over right tackle from the 25 out to the 27. Germantown 31, Henry County 21. Steve Murphy, Madonna Funeral Home and Cremation Service, keeping us updated. Jeff Murphy, his brother, is calling that game.
Really?
In case you haven't heard, Southside now 6-0. 21-14 win over Lexington. That's a stranglehold now on the region for Southside View.
Yeah, they are an awful good football team. And again, the thing I like to point out about them, everybody talks about Latham, and he's great. There's no doubt about it. But that defense has just been money all year long.
Milan has come from behind to take a 28-21 lead at Bolivar. Bolivar's 1-5, Milan 2-4. View.
Yeah, hopefully for your Bulldogs, they can hold on because that's a game they've got to win.
And we apologize for the technical difficulties tonight. We can tell you none of it was our fault, and that's true, but we're going to get blamed. We're the guys on the air, right? .6:45 left. 4th quarter. Gibson County 14, Peabody 10. Is that right? Jeez.
Are you kidding me? What
I'm
world
stunned.
am I living in?
John Griffin.
Yeah, that Danny, that Southside win will propel them to 7-0. Southside with 3 games left. What do you think about this, Reeves? At Liberty, at
7, I'm
Humboldt.
sorry.
At Liberty, at Humboldt, and finishing off the season with that big inter-city matchup between North and Southside.
Yeah, I haven't heard what's happened in the second half. Liberty led Northside 12-7 at halftime. Yeah, I don't doubt Southside winning all those games. They're going to be heavy favorite in 2 of those final 3.
You believe? I mean, even if Trenton Peabody goes on to win that football game, what about the Pioneers?
Yeah.
Are they the story of the year?
Well, I got to say so. Don't you?
I mean, if they're not, I don't know who is. There's been some great stories, but this team's, they're not good. They're really good.
Really good. Here it's 28-7 USJ has dominated this game against St. George's. 3:55 left in the fourth quarter. Here is USJ. 3rd and 4 from the Bruin 30. Andrew Smith and Cubini draws. St. George's offsides. Oh, how about that for the young man? Andrew Smith had to come in to replace the injured Garrett Reynolds. We'll try to get you an update on that. Maybe it could be a dislocated ankle. Don't speculate much.
Certainly hope not. But how big a play was that for Andrew Smith?
Yeah.
A fresh set of downs.
Jonathan Greer will have the postgame show. And the Bass has all our play-by-play guys lined up to join him. Here's Caleb Willis on 1st and 10 from the 36. Caleb crossing the 40 along the hash mark here on the near side. And Willis tackled at the 44. He'll have 8 on first down.
Well, I love this change of pace, and I know that Wallace' fumble may precipitate some of this. But, you know, in the fourth quarter with this tired St. George team, give them a little something to think about with some speed in the backfield.
7-0, Jackson Southside. Wow.
Caleb Baker in the house.
And that's Isn't that something?
That is something.
That's about right, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Here we go, boys.
2nd and 2. Back to the ground. Look at this run. They had him in the backfield, pushing forward, crossing the 45, and carrying Griffins with him out to the 48-yard line. Is that man, once again, Tyler Wallace.
Well, that should have been a 2-yard loss instead of a 2-3-yard gain. You know, Danny, if Tyler Wallace says he wants your lunch money, just give it to him.
He just took it.
Just give it to him.
Wow. For Southside, 7-0. At Liberty and Humboldt's north side at home. First and 10 Bruins, their own 49. Here's Willis again. He'll run it up the middle, crossing the 50 into Griffin territory. Caleb has the Griffin 48 before he goes down. It's a 3-yard gain and heavy traffic. Nice run by Caleb.
Oh, man, a beautiful pickup. You know, Timber King was coming in to lay the lick on Caleb, and Wallace comes there and just buckles him. He said, "This is for my man TJ." For that late hitch put on him.
Coming out to the game tonight. Come up in and run up on y'all Orange State.
Down to 158 remaining. Fourth quarter, USA with a 28-7 lead. This is going to be a big win for the Bruins. Big region win. Puts them in line for another trip to the postseason view.
Yeah, this team's going to be a playoff football team, but we got to really see what's going on with Garrett Reynolds because that'll be a big key to it.
Back to the ground, straight ahead inside the 45, bullying his way down near the 41-yard line. That offensive line is dominant. That's TJ Tharp ripping off Another Hughes Eye Group first down ball.
Yeah, remember we told you the ECS coaches said that USJ has been the most physical football team that they've played all season long. Tonight, you see what they're talking about. Boy, looky here, Danny. It's gone final in Troy. Are you kidding me?
21-14 O'Brien over Crockett County. Wow.
Come on, man.
O'Brien was 1-5. Crockett was 5-1 coming into tonight. Greenfield 44, Humboldt nothing. Never thought I'd say that. Humboldt running the table in reverse over the season. Greenfield now 4-2. Here's USJ on the ground again with room again from the 48, inside the 40, inside the 35, center of the field, tackled at the 33. It's going to be a gain of around 9 on first down with the Bruins.
Well, look at the guns on TJ Thorpe, man. You know, when I see something like that, it makes me not want to cut the sleeves off my shirts. You know what I'm saying?
Martin County 38, Chester County 28. All that you need for motivation is a screenshot.
I'm telling you, man. Good gravy. Well, there you go. It's final down in Bolivar, guys.
Milan comes from behind to win 28-21. The USJ wins it. They take the knee. They'll put it in the W column, 28-7. We thank Outback Steakhouse of Jackson, the Hughes Eye Group, Brandon Jones at State Farm Insurance, That's One Tire and Service of Jackson, Old Town Spaghetti Store, Young Hughes Insurance, King Jewelers, Tennessee Tractor, Rock and Dough Pizza, Master Fit Medical Supply, Carlock Nissan of Jackson, Sonic of Jackson, Vein and Vascular, Hickman Realty Group, Norm and Tammy Reed, Home Medical Products, HMPinc.net. Allegra Design, Print and Mail, Sarah Cadillac, Chevrolet Buick, GMC, and Kia. Poplar Corner Exxon, Cambridge Limited Men's Clothing. Bass, you may want to call the guys and tell them to get on the blower right now to Jonathan.
I'll do it.
Thank you, Bu. By Range USA, Boykin Moingen Landscaping. By VIP Weight Loss, Anti-Aging, and Quick Care Center. By Fujiyama Japanese Restaurant and Sushi Bar. RFC Tactical in Milan. Marco's Pizza. Premier Dental Center. Overton Floyd. Garrett Plumbing, Heating and Air. And the Marco's Pizza and Drive in front of the Home Depot. We'll be there Monday night. That's going to do it for us because of the technical difficulties we've had. And we'll shoot it back to the studio and Jonathan Greer for the post-game show, and all our play-by-play guys from all around join Jonathan. He'll have the scores and the highlights for you coming up here in about 4 minutes. Jonathan Greer producing and directing. Jonathan, thank you so much. Jonathan was our ace in the hole back at News Talk tonight, helping with all the technical difficulties. Jonathan, thank you. We'll shoot it back to the studio. We'll take a 4-minute break, and then Jonathan Greer will be with you on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 and WNWS.com.